shot. Lock and load.
Wow, very good. Let me show you how it is done. Yeah, no. Woo, damn! That was one of the best nickel fights I've been to.
It's amazing how much I love betting on esports. It's so cool. What's even better is when I can use Cash Out. Wait, you didn't know about Cash Out? Cash Out is when you can get your stake back even when your bet is going against you. Just one hit and your money is safe. So go to LOOT.BET to cash out now.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to LOOT.BET CS Season 7. We're into our final match of Round 4 of our Swiss system, the final elimination between SKADE and Fate. By the end of this one of these teams will be progressing towards Round 5 as the final round of our Swiss system bracket, and the other one will be out for good. I'm the Eternal J. I'm joined by Blake for this one. A Bulgarian derby for this one, mate, and certainly the derbies have proven to be the most entertaining matches over the course of LOOT.BET so far this season.
Ah, look, they certainly have. And going into this, two lineups that are very new, and maybe not so much the players, but you look at SKADE, and, well, they've recently added Duplicate and Oxygen only a couple of weeks ago. You look over at the Fate side, they've only just added Blocker, Patrick, and Hans. So, really, for both these teams, it's going to be difficult to pull things away from what they're able to achieve in the last couple of months. But one thing that I certainly have seen from this Fate side is I've been impressed. I mean, they have done some great work recently. We saw like some big wins in the Summit closed qualifiers. They took a 2-1 win over Dignitas, 2-1 over Pact. They, I suppose, got trumped up against teams like Vitality and Movistar Riders. But all in all, Fate with this new addition have done very well instantly.
Yeah, and I mean, in general, I believe the Fate have had like the better sort of competition in the recent few months. You know, they've had a lot of big sort of performances, some big sort of teams, and I think that, you know, the end result is going to be a slight little bit of experience advantage for them. You know, even in their recent series results, they've even got like the results against the SKADE squad. You know, they've had a 2-1 victory about only a few days ago, actually, about a week ago. So you know, they've already got some decent experience against this team, and you know, two of the maps that they have in the pool today are going to be shared across this over the last series. Overpass and Mirage being those two. Inferno, the one that they haven't seen so far. SKADE are the ones that picked this one to. So let's talk about these vetoes real quick and have a quick chat about that before we jump into the pistol round.
Yeah, look, Inferno has always been a pretty strong map coming out for the SKADE side. It's been one that they've heavily picked a lot over the course of this year, so I can certainly understand the Inferno pick coming in. For SKADE's sake, it's okay, it's decent, it's not one of their best maps in the map pool. They could potentially put up a pretty good fight on this map. But look, I think we're certainly pretty confident on SKADE being able to take the first map. Now, going into Overpass, that's a little bit of a different affair. Fate have looked really good on it. So in terms of the map picks, I think both teams have come out really well against each other in picking these two maps.
Yeah, and I mean, you know, just to have those like that little bit of common ground between the in this series means that even if they do end up losing Inferno, I think the Fate are going to have a pretty decent time overall in this series. And I mean, you know, there have been some opportunities, obviously, for SKADE to adjust against them. You know, obviously with their with their recent series, is having the opportunity to turn things around and potentially do some demo review against them. So like, there's things that SKADE could do there in terms of turning the series about, but just generally based on the experience level of the Fate camp, based on the fact that they've got enough map wins to their favor. Now, I feel like that this is going to be a Fate simple victory. If it goes, if Inferno goes the way of SKADE, then I feel like we will be seeing a 2-1, but you know, a 2-0 other than that for me, to be honest.
Yeah, no, I'm in the same boat there. I mean, even with the roster moves coming out from SKADE, we've actually seen roles being changed. We've seen Denny, their main AWP player, is now moved into like a secondary hybrid player, whereas for Spellin, the in-game leader who was doing a little bit of secondary AWPing, is now pretty much the main AWP for this team. So roles have slightly changed for the SKADE side, and I think it's going to take them a little bit more time to really start to get some results together. But jumping into the pistol round, it's no utility or kit for the CT side, but there is two sets of util up for SKADE.
Yeah, double flash smoke for Spellin, smoke molotov for Rainwaker. The CT set up out very, very carefully here. It's passive as well from the SKADE camp here. Blocker's going to tap his way through the USP, hopefully to catch off one of the players out here into the mid position. They won't be able to do much with it, though. Tagged up initially by this SKADE camp, and slowly but surely they'll make their way up towards Banana. Bomb's not committing just yet. Nicky's waiting carefully about this. We'll see the flashbang coming in, spam his way through, but get no kills or damage.
Yeah, SKADE have done a pretty good job of at least trying to maintain some map control over towards this B side of the map around Banana, but no real establishment has come out yet to the apartments. And for Fate, they are running a 3-man setup over at this A bomb site, and really, well, they haven't had too much information at this point. There is still another couple of smokes to work with for SKADE, so they could set themselves up for the A bomb site execution, maybe get a moto and a long smoke down to try and see if they can go for the apps pop. But for Fate, they're not looking for information at the moment. They're still playing very passive in the sites.
Yeah, 40 seconds for SKADE to make their way in. They are going to lean towards the A bomb site out here towards the apartments. The Molotovs come in, the blocks swing out. One player found. Blocker does get the opening kill though, dropping in towards Pit. Duplicate will be able to double up against him, so that's a 2-for-1 trade. Favorable, of course, to the T side as they do find their way on towards A. The bomb plant can be secured from here. Now, where do they go against the Fate camp? The retake will be on. There is no kit in play, as you mentioned, no utility brought up in this round. And time is ticking for these USP headshots. They are just so passive and careful, not giving any unnecessarily aggressive face here from SKADE. As Nicky makes his way in, 20 seconds have gone by. Tapped up from Spell and will do some damage to Patrick. And Nicky will fall as Patrick finds one trade. Mar will fall next up. Patrick's left alone. No chance, no time. And a round to the favour of SKADE.
I'll tell you what, it's a great pistol round coming out from SKADE, and what it comes down to is obviously there's no util and there's no kit for the retake from Fate, so they're pretty much kind of putting all their eggs in one basket that they're able to defend on the site rather than allowing that retake to come through. And for SKADE, they get the bomb down to the A bomb site, they take complete control around that mini pit and pit area to try and force in the post-plant duels, and well, for SKADE, very successful, but it will be the force buy coming through. And I tell you what, Jay, we have seen a lot of these force buy anti-eco rounds being successful in the past.
Mac-10's in against the Deagles, PT-50s and MP-9, so it's very plausible, I think, for the Fate camp. As you mentioned, many a time we've seen these kind of buys work out for the teams that buy them. SKADE will have a pretty decent chance to make some decent work against the Fade camp, you know, with the lack of head Kevlar and Han and Mar, so don't count them out with the Mac-10s just yet. Of course, they have got the better buy, all things considered. And again, their defaults are very carefully played here.
It's actually very surprising that we haven't seen any rifles coming up. It's just the Mac-10s, and well, for SKADE, this could come back to bite them, considering the fact that we're seeing 3 players with head Kevlar coming out for Fate and the force buy attempt. Resmoke coming out towards Banana is just going to buy a little bit more time, and SKADE, it looks like they're going to actually try and back off in this Banana position.
Well, Matt tends to spot the first player out towards the apartments. Blocker's going to have to rotate back. Han here towards the front corner of the bomb site as CZ ready and waiting. Spell, and we'll catch that one. CZ bursts on and gets himself 2 good kills. So Duplicate responding to a 3 versus 3 scenario. The bomb plant can be received. Another Deagle step up to the plate here for the Fate camp. The Molotov's in against Mar. Will try to keep him away from the aggressive face. Nothing any closer here for the CT camp. It's just Patrick, the edge of the smoke here with his Deagle, hoping to catch something at the edge of it, but just no one's being seen against SKADE playing this careful, passive, standard style. Don't take any aggressive faces that you don't need to take, and it's going to work to stall the time here. Fate don't want to challenge it. SKADE aren't going to lose anything. It looks like they'll get away here with a second round.
I'll tell you what is big as well is the fact they get 2 kills with the Mac-10, so at least a bit of kill bonus coming through. The CT is probably just staying around a little bit longer than they needed to. 1-for-1 trade coming out. That's actually Mar going down to the bomb. So only 1 player surviving from Fate. Considering the fact they pretty much opted to go for the save there and not even try and retake the site, they only get away with 1 player staying alive.
You definitely were focusing on getting the damage on the board, I feel like, especially with that CZ being placed where it was, that other player being super close to him. A 2-0 SKADE. Currently a very good start here on their T side, certainly the way they would have wanted their map pick to go. The pistols out on the eco here for the Fate camp. We'll just go out towards that mid position to face up first. It's Patrick to the apartments on the A stack here. Is he ready for Denny? He's not quite. Let's take that pop shot off. Didn't quite see him when they first faced, but either way, that's still going to be a bit of information gathering towards that second mid area. SKADE are going to lean towards the B site once again. On towards Banana, they'll realise that nobody is actually here for the CTs. Fate have stacked in the full 5-man stack towards A.
That's actually the deep CT smoke coming out from Oxygen. So if they like, they can try and wrap in through construction. And Fate, I mean, look, they're actually gambling this stack really well. And this is just a gut feeling for them.
Oh, the counter rotation from Fate will be timed well enough, but are they going to push it and get any kills against the SKADE squad? The retailer may well be doing so right here. Pistols out, and they do get ripped apart here by the MAC-10s and the rifles. 3 AK kills, 2 MAC-10 kills. Money gained all in all, and a very nice 3-0 start for the T-side forces. Fate back on the rifles now. The M4's coming in. Han could afford the AWP, and indeed he will buy it. So Fate going to get everything they can out of this next round. Decent stack of utility as well. Still with 3 MAC-10s to work with on that T-side. Only one player is susceptible to that on the CT force.
And SKADE just trying to take this as a bonus round. They really don't need to upgrade those MAC-10s. Just try and keep them in play. If you lose the round, so be it. But if you can win it out, you really get off to a great start in terms of the economy basis on the T side. A little bit quicker, actually, up through second mid from SKADE. At least for these first 3 rounds, we've seen a lot of passiveness coming out from the Bulgarians. And the SKADE are probably one of the only Bulgarian teams that aren't hyper-aggressive. I mean, you look back in the day of, like, B-Pro, MK, Windigo, very aggressive teams. You can even throw Fate into the action. But SKADE are a little bit more methodical, a little bit more of a tactical change for their a lot of their T-side defaults. And well, so far, no real contact has been made by either team except for some utility.
A minute to the clock here, and SKADE have once again just gone a little bit passive early on, taking a bit of damage as you mentioned. The nades up towards that top mid area, but now they're going to gain the B control and the banana control. 2 players to defend against it here. The smoke comes in. Nicky's going to get flashed out. Patrick's got a nice angle going on the flower pot boost. Takes out 1. Blind spray does not get a second kill. The damage has been done to Oxygen, however. Duplicate also a little bit tagged up. Nades on towards both the CTs, though. Will try to do some return back to the SKADE squad, but the bomb plant is secured. CT still on their way in for the retake, though. They're at the man advantage.
And still no kits. Fate have just not bought any kits whatsoever. Now, at least there isn't any post-plant utility to come out from SKADE, but they're going to try and take these close quarter angles with these MAC-10s that they've got still in play.
Flashes in, the CT still not aggressing though, they're being suppressed. The time is running out, 15 seconds to the bomb, and Duplicate Rainwaker, they're going to get 3 kills between them. Han and Ma, last 2 players left now. The CTs have to get back out of dodge as the MAC-10s continue to get kills. SKADE running wild all over Fate, and a 4th round on that board. I don't know why that retake was so stalled there for the CT side.
I don't know either. Yeah, that took a really long time. Considering they had pretty much no utility and no kits, they took their time. And, well, for SKADE, all it came down to was just holding the Angels. And as soon as they find those opening couple of kills, they just aggress those MAC-10s in. And you look at the money bonus, rather than holding on. I mean, I'm even surprised they, you know, upgrade those MAC-10s. I mean, they're going all AKs at the moment, considering the fact they know they're going to be up against just a half buy. But the money line is so strong at the moment. And SKADE, they're really putting their foot down in the opening stages of this map.
No, they really are. I mean, this is a T-side start that we weren't expecting at all. And it's going fantastically for them, obviously. And congratulations and everything. But, yeah, Fate, I thought they would put up a bit more of a fight right here. They're out to the half-buy investment, an M4 and a MP9 here from Blocker. Of course, the M4, sorry, saved by Mar from earlier on in that last round. They do find themselves a second M4 to work with here, with Blocker getting that kill on Rainwaker towards the apartments. Now, Deagle and a CZ here to defend against it. Mar will try rotate back towards the B bomb site to play the rifle support. They've got a little bit of utility that will get thrown up and try and stall the SKADE here. But the pop flash in, the CT's facing away. The CZ does get himself a good kill and a bit of tag damage, but Duplicate finds him, isolates his teammate, turns around towards Mar, making noise, drops that M4, and the backline is also taken away. Good play in from the CZ, but only getting that one frag. Blocker left alone. 2 players to find. One is very low HP. That bomb's out in the open as well. They've got to challenge him directly. They do get it, put it back towards the back lines of the site. Denny Slaw not seen, but Spellin is. Burst through, AK facing it will be Denny for the secondary kill for a 5th round on the board for SKADE. And you know, for a low investment round, that's not bad for the Fate camp, but SKADE's money has been built up to the point where I don't think any damage is going to matter unless you win the round.
Tell you what, that was very chaotic coming out from SKADE. So instead of just kind of playing behind that 3-smoke out through Banana, they just try and pop flash their way through. And Fate, well, they just keep fighting one by one, trying to push through that CT smoke and block up in the 1 versus 2 clutch. Not able to get it done in the end. But like you said, Jay, considering it's a half bite, that's a very good attempt and they do a lot of damage. But now the AWP is up to Spellin.
It's back in play for Han as well. A heavy investment from the Fate camp. Spellin playing to try find a very passive position all in all. Actually, the AWP is not even challenging to that mid control. We'll grab the bomb and start pushing it into Banana. The utility challenges down range from Banana. I've actually managed to do quite a lot of damage to that T side. Oxygen and Duplicate again taking the early couple of tags, but nothing significant that could turn the tide for Fate.
At least this time around, they've got a couple of kits to work with, so they can certainly take a little bit more time on the retake. Now, I really like this position coming out from Rainwaker. He's pushed very aggressively. He could potentially cut off any player that's playing around that long position. It all just comes down to timing of whether the CTs can over-aggress this angle. Falling off of the Banana commitment, they're going to start to regroup up through brackets, and they have to try and deal with this AWP from Han.
Spellin, Duplicate and Denny out here towards the mid and apartments area. Oxygen behind them. We're going to try and take support. Mar with an incendiary down. We'll try stall them here. 30 seconds to the clock. And the hit is coming in relatively quickly here for SKADE. Han's got the AWP smoked off from the library area. Blocker and Mar kick things off with 2 good picks. Rainwaker finds one back in trade. Mar's expecting to drop through as Han goes falling. Mar can try and back in. Retribution gets a kill in the interim. And Mar goes falling back to a 1 versus 2 now. Denny's got the bomb in the open though. And the backstab coming in from Nicky will close it out. Nicely done there from Fate. Losing quite a bit, but they do hold on to the round, and that's the most important thing.
And that's one of the first times we've actually seen the site defense holding on really strong. We saw a couple of fantastic kills coming through. And, well, the rotations, they were able to come out pretty quickly. SKADE, they just couldn't find the entries on that round. They played it really well. They actually allowed the rotator of Han to go from library over to the B bomb site. He was kind of caught in rotations out through CT spawn. So they only had to deal with 2 players at that A bomb site. They just could not find the entries. That's a great round from Fate. A great response.
Yeah, finally something to put on the board here for against the SKADE side, and damage compounding will leave us at a situation where the economy can still break here for the teams, which obviously is exactly what Fate would like to have right now. The MP5 here for Nicky will be the weakest weapon in the server at the moment. The AWP out for Han will try counterbalance it. Full-blown rifles into SKADE will still be able to do its damage. Han will take a challenge out towards this Banana position. Potentially going for a reface here at the edge of the Molotov, and he actually pays for it. Nicely done against Duplicate. Refacing back in, but gets taken back by Rainwaker to a 4-on-4.
A bit of an overextension there coming out from the Fate side, especially the AWP. And as soon as they get that contact, they go straight into the B bomb site. And for the CTs, they're locked out for the minute. They've got to try and use their utility to try and get their way back in. But SKADE, they haven't even planted the bomb yet. They're getting it planted.
M4 in, takes out 1. Nicely done from Patrick to get Denny. Now 4-on-3 situation favourable, of course, to the CT side. And Fate ready to take the aggression here again. Very passive and carefully played from their retake stance. They've wasted the first 20 seconds. They've still got 3 T-side players to do with incendiaries to the back lines. Nades will do a little bit of damage to Rainwaker here. Stays alive and gets a kill through trouble though. Patrick will find a trade back, looking on towards the smoke area. 10 seconds to the defuse. Sprays through from Blocker, gets Oxygen, but Spell on his to deny the 1 man. He gets a spray on towards 1, but not quite the second. So the defuse can still be stuck just in the skin of their time. It will be a second on the board for Fate.
It's amazing how much I love betting on esports. It's so cool. What's even better is when I can use Cash Out. Wait, you didn't know about Cash Out? Cash Out is when you can get your stake back even when your bet is going against you. Just one hit and your money is safe. So go to LOOT.BET to cash out now.
And I tell you what, Jay, these retakes from Fate have not been quick at all. They've been very, very slow, and it's only going to be a matter of time until Fate probably going to lose out one of these retakes again. I mean, Spellin, if he would have just been able to follow up on a second kill, he probably wins that round.
Good body block coming in, of course, from the CT forces in that back line, so they are able to maintain control. Damage done to Spellin and Oxygen early here in the anti-half-bay round, I guess you could say, for Fate. There is a bit of an investment coming in from SKADE, and AK in particular for Rainwaker is going to be a bit of a deadly element. The pistols out across the rest of the board, lacking in utility across most players. Still got enough for an execution set. Will be Blocker to take down the bomb planter. Getting traded back by Rainwaker. They now know that AK is in play. AWP of Han will be standing by against him. He better be ready for a wraparound from the B bomb site if they do decide to go for it. They're going to stack their way in. AWP drops one, not quite two. Danny there on site already to isolate Mar to the back lines. He's going to be in trouble, and indeed he is. 3 versus 2 now. SKADE in a very awkward position. The CTs will make their way back out. They will drop one. Bombs out in the open, dealt with by Patrick, tapping onto the 3K. He gets this spray, and it will be Fate with 3.
Oh, that's really unfortunate. The bomb's just dropped right in the open, and well, Spellin has to go and try and pick it up. But yeah, look, that's just unfortunate coming out from SKADE. The actual play into the site was really strong. We saw some great flashbangs coming out. They got some really great entries onto the anchors, but again, Spellin just could not be able to pick up that bomb in time, and Patrick is able to find 3 great kills. And that's going to be able to at least pick up Fate's 3rd round. That's 3 in a row now for the Bulgarian side. And well, they haven't quite broken the economy, and that comes down to at least 1 bomb plant coming out in the last 3 rounds, and considering how built it was with those MAC-10s that were being upgraded for so long. But this could certainly be the round that Fate could get a good inkling of being able to finally break the economy.
They have got the economy on the ropes for both sides here. The damage has certainly been rife from SKADE, and Fate. Their victories as of late leaves them on a very awkward stance here for the T side as well. Making their way out to this brackets area. Mar back over towards short of the edge of quad will also fall back all the same alongside the M4 of his teammate off on the site itself. Contact crossfire set, smokes down to try isolate one. Oxygen will be the first man to fall, seeing the second player swing in from Mar, gets a double kill, but Spellin chimes in, as does Rainwaker get Blocker, all left to Han on the site. The AWP will be predicted here. Still scopes in, gets that kill, falls back into the bomb site. Can't quite land the second player at close range, but Patrick's there for the trade on shore, and Rainwaker is all that remains.
Oh, Rainwaker, 1 versus 2, clutch, trying to come out, and they know exactly where he is, towards that graveyard position, and well, the bomb, it's on towards the site. He's got to try and pick it up and plan it, but he needs to try and isolate some of these 1v1s, and the idea that there might be someone towards the apartments. This is now 1 versus 1. Will the overextension come out from Patrick? The timing, he's seen exactly where he is, and that's going to be a 4th round coming out from Fate. These rounds are being very, very chaotic from Fate, and it all comes down to Mar finding the opening 2 kills.
I like that.
Like a bit of that, yeah?
Yeah, very well played there from Fate. Again, some of these rounds going down to the wire. SKADE are really bringing the fight back in this one. And, you know, Inferno, it was their map pick, so you expected them to be pretty proficient at it. But, yeah, Fate probably may have been in with a bit of a rude awakening in the early part of this map up. A very fast play coming out from the T side. They're going to try to overwhelm them with sheer pace, but unfortunately, Nicky has other plans. 2 players shut down out towards the banana face. SKADE are going to wrap back over towards that mid position, potentially go for an A play. Have rotated in like 3 players to the B bomb site, so it's all left to Blocker now. The aggression coming in from Mar. Don't know how Nicky got tagged up in that one, but either way, 10 HP. And P250 from Denny does find Blocker at least for 1. They can secure a pretty decent bomb plant, but the retake is going to be the main concern for the T's.
Oh, surely they don't expect this from Mar. This is such a position where you just can't expect a CT to be here, so there shouldn't be anyone looking that way. Mar turns it back into a 4-2, and well, they can slow it down and say, like, yes, the bomb plans come through, but they need to be making sure that this retake, it's clean and it's successful.
And for Patrick, catching Denny in the back of the head, leaving Spellin alone. Therefore, this retake will be successful indeed, and Fate with a nice 5th round to respond to the 5 in a row for SKADE. The CT side finally with one of these rounds where they actually get like a majority of their players out of it rather than losing down to the wire. Maybe a positive for them at this stage in time. And the rebuy, of course, should come through from the T side. Let's see what the rifles do look like here. AWP for Spellin. Expect it here on the max loss bonus for Bomb Plant. And Harm with his own AWP. I haven't seen much of the double up set up here for Fate. I'm not too shocked at this one. The early contact plays in towards Banana will continue. And Spellin taking this orb so aggressive, taking damage for it as well. The nade on will tag him extremely low. Rainwaker falling to Han, and Mar taking Denny as well with a secondary pick out towards that mid apartment's face. Suddenly the 3 players on Banana are all that remain.
Tell you what, this is again a really great shutdown coming out from Fate, and Fate have done a really good job of finding opening kills around that A bomb site, and well, they've stacked up 3 players here at B. The resmoke coming out from Banana. How does SKADE try and fight this back? Such a difficult position to be in. I don't know. I really don't know at this point. Spellin's already tagged up pretty heavily from the nades. This is just SKADE falling apart in a lot of these gun rounds recently.
Duplicate will find Blocker at least for 1 good kill. Patrick trades. Duplicate is able to double up, make it a triple overall, and the bomb plant can be secured by this man. So big frags coming in a 2-on-2 scenario, potentially a big round now for SKADE. It's to get another good kill on Han, and 1 player is all it took to completely decimate what they had to work with there. And this will be a 6th round for SKADE as opposed to Fate.
Oh god, this is just embarrassing for Fate. I don't know how you lose a 5-on-3 advantage like that when you've got 3 players there at the B bomb site. No one else goes down. They only get single kill at B. Like, the 1 B defender gets 1 kill, and that's all they get. And all it comes down to is why are they fighting? What? Just play passive in the site, wait for them to walk into your crosshairs, and just swing on each other's contacts. There were so many 1 versus 1 duels that went the way of SKADE. And you've got to be thinking for Fate, they've got to be demoralized after that. And they don't have money to buy now, and SKADE have been given an absolute gift of somehow bringing back a 3 versus 5.
And again, only 1 player can be thanked for that 3 versus 5, and will be Duplicate for turning that situation around. A tactical pause called here by the Fate camp because, well, I mean, it could have been much better from them. I think they realized that they shouldn't have lost that kind of a round when they were on the B-side defense. They kind of gave up those 1v1s to Duplicate. And now SKADE have a lead once again. The economy is also not looking fantastic from Fate. I imagine they'll go for a forced buy anyway because the loss bonus is very low. They'll be on double eco status anyway, so maybe a half buy around some of the players here to get themselves full-blown investment on the really good force buy in the next round, which actually seems to be the call here from the CTs. A couple options available, and they do pick probably a smarter one in the long term here.
Yeah, no, for sure. This is certainly the smart play coming out from Fate rather than kind of getting into an awkward position in terms of economy, especially when there's not too many more rounds left in this first half. And for SKADE, I mean, this is a great response after winning 5, losing 5, now being able to potentially go up 7-5 on the T side. And, well, this is just a top banana stack coming out for the Pistols. Spellin is here with the AWP, so he will get some information. Could get overwhelmed, actually.
That's a lot of blue, I was going to say, you know. 1 good kill for Oxygen, at least returning from Mexico. Doubles up, triple up for the quadra kill in the end. Nicky will fall as well. They do find 2 good picks, which ain't too bad for the CTs on a full eco, but the real rifles coming in here for the Fate. The AWP can get bought by Nicky, passed immediately off to Han. He's been pretty fantastic with that weapon. and M4s across everybody else on the CT forces. The AWP of Spell and there to respond over on T side. You can see the odds currently standing at very evens here. Not too even. SKADE certainly at the advantage at this stage, being 2 rounds ahead and on their map pick and all. But Fate, right now, they have their chance to turn at least a 6th on their CT half. SKADE out towards Banana. Mars ready and waiting here with the nades and the M4. Spellin actually could aggress a bit too close to this one. They goes long on this one to stack out. Does do damage to Duplicate. Spellin can't find his opening kill. And Fate will back off.
I'll tell you what, that's such an interesting style coming out from Spellin. That is so aggressive with the AWP. And, well, actually, that pulls quite a lot of attention over towards the Banana face. But it's going to be the quick sight play into the A bomb site. Han trying to deliver with this AWP. But the 1-for-1 trade comes out, and Blocker, he's alone in the apartments.
And isolated and surrounded. Yeah. The man advantage for SKADE here in the post plant. Do Fate even bother to go for this retake? I imagine they may just look to save their weapons. And yeah, they are out of here. Grabbing that AWP from Nikki, and they are saving. Fate will concede 8 to SKADE. Not exactly what they wanted to see in this one. I mean, the T side have really been on a roll as of the last couple of rounds. I mean, they did have those 5 in a row, but since then, Fate have been unable to score anything. Now we'll look to concede 3 more in a row to the T side camp. They will take their T side half as well at this stage. And, you know, Fate, I mean, taking a look at their statistics in terms of the halves themselves and whether or not they have a T or CT basis, it doesn't even look that good from that respect. I mean, it's not a great map for them in general, but, you know, their CT side, it kind of needs to go relatively well, I feel like. If they can get an 8-7 half, then they could still work this, but I think it might be a little bit too far gone for that kind of scoreline.
One thing I'm certainly noticing from Fate is it seems like when they don't have momentum, they really struggle. Like when we saw those 5 rounds in a row that were victories from them, you know, the retakes were looking good, they were finding good opening picks, but it seems like when they got shut down, when they lose that opening pick, when they just lose that momentum of rounds going forward, they don't really seem to have an answer at this point. And for SKADE, I mean, it was a great play, getting that top banana control, then going quick into the A bomb site. One of the quickest executions we've seen from them yet. Well, Fate. It really comes down to trying to see if they can work with this AWP and the M4. A bit of a unorthodox boost coming out here for a Han. Oh, it actually doesn't work out.
SKADE out towards us, banana control here, the CTs. Mostly stacking towards that A bomb site for the moment, which of course bodes well for SKADE, who are leaning towards B. Got the AWP to try and deal with it here. One pistol on the CZ behind it though, so it's just left to this one rifle to try and play with what he can. And I mean, Nick is going to do some pretty decent damage here with the nade up. Smoke onto their position, and the SD utility coming in. The AWP actually does get boosted up. Facing away from the fight. Bangs, lines up a collat tag, but no kill against either Spellin or Denny. Oxygen will fall to Nikki though. Blind in the midst of the smoke, and Han doubles up, looking for his triple perhaps. The bomb plant in the open, there's bullets flying all over the place. Blind through smokes, Patrick's going to get another good kill. Rainwaker and Denny Slaw, last 2 players left, and Fate have somehow applied the damage and managed to do all that they need to. The AWP pick finally comes in for the T side, but now the boost up from Patrick will take him down, dropping against Rainwaker, who does double up, and now needs 2 more for the quadra clutch. 16 seconds to the clock. Someone's got to get to the bomb site now. They think it may be on main. Smoke down, spray through, not lining up the kill. Rainwaker will get the play on the back line. Tapping on against Nikki, missing the bullets. 2 seconds. Nikki's low, but he's going to get the ninja. Skin of his teeth as he goes down a tick after the defuse, and Fate gets 6.
Oh my goodness, Rainwaker almost clutches out the 1 versus 4 there. That was some really nice aim jewels coming through, but I'll tell you what, for Fate, how do they end up getting 3 big kills, just all through smokes, all through spam? And for SKADE, they got to be kicking themselves off that. That could have been a very, very big clutch indeed. And for Fate, they get a little bit of luck going their way as Nikki Doctor just sticks the defuse.
Look at that.
The tick. That was so down to the wire.
Literally, like, maybe if that bullet was fired like a little bit earlier, like maybe about a half a second earlier, that would have been a win for the T side instead. Well, The unlikely just became plausible here for Fate, but early damage will be put on the board to try and stop it here from SKADE. Damage has been done to Patrick in particular, 15 HP. Block will get the opening kill on the A bomb site face as Duplicate is first casualty. AWP of Han hoping for a bit more out here towards shore. It is Oxygen that finds Patrick over on the backstab, so the stack in from the CT is going to have to rotate back to standard positions. It's a 4 versus 4.
Now, good response back, at least coming out from Oxygen. Block up instantly dealt with from Denny Slaw, and well, now there's only 2 players at this A bomb site, and actually for SKADE, even finding 2 picks at A, they're actually going to fall back, but they know that. Han's seen the rest and heard the players falling back. He's probably going to try and rotate over to this B bomb site because there's only Nicky here.
Lone towards Coffins. The AWP is still on its way, but a good swing in from the M4 will get 1 kill, no more than that. Denny, and with that final kill in the pre-plant, post-plant coming in 3 versus 2, retake up for Fate on the last round and a half. They have to go for it. Close shots are not quite connecting from Han. They are getting dangerous to it though. Scrape around the corner. Oxygen is right there at the edge of the corner, getting taken out by Han as the flashbang does not quite work out well enough for Rainwaker. Denny in the back lines, Rain on the banana position. AK up, spray through, sees the second player as well. They know exactly where Mar is. 10 seconds, no kit. This looks like it's round over and half over for a 9-6 for the favour of this SKADE camp. See what Mar can do in terms of damage, maybe pad his stats, but nothing will come through of it.
I'll tell you what, it's a very good T side coming out from SKADE, all things considered. Like, there were certainly some struggles here and there. We certainly saw some good rounds from Fate, but all in all, when you take across all 15 rounds in that first half, SKADE were looking very dominant. And for Fate, I'm not sure what the answer for them trying to come back into this, because you got to think 9 rounds up for the T side is not even the favored side for SKADE on this map. So going into the second half, they're even going to be more deadly than what we saw from them in the first.
A pretty good CT side from Fate, all things considered. You know, they had a bit of a rough start in this half, but imagine to claw it back to a 9-6 is not too terrible. It's the T side that I'm worried about, though. And you know, in general, we take a look at the the European scene. We take a look at European Counter-Strike, and Bulgaria is often one of those regions that offers a lot more on the offensive than they do on the defensive. And you know, in that respect, I can see where Fate could turn it around, but in general, their stats for this map are just not fantastic. Again, their T-side halves are, you know, a little bit poor. They're slightly better than their CT sides, but even then, like, you know, their map stats in general for Inferno is not exactly, you know, anything to be proud about. And for that reason, you know, I feel like the good start in this first half would have been, I think, the driving force to end up this 2-0. But for me, I feel like SKADE are within touching distance of ending things off here.
Oh, they certainly. And if Spellin can be able to AWP the way that he did on the T side, on City side, I think he's going to have a lot of impact. We saw some really great shots coming out from Spellin. It was really Duplicate, though, with the rifle that was probably the standout man for the SKADE side in that T side. So, look, going forward, SKADE, we've seen the at least the change up quite a lot on the T side. So I'm wondering whether we're going to see a lot of adaptation coming out on the City side, trying to play around how Fate are playing. And what kind of changes we can see. I can tell straight away that they'll try and get that AWP out as soon as they can onto Spellin. They've relied on him a lot, even in the first half. I mean, you don't see a lot of T-side AWPing on this map. It's not something that is heavily prevalent, but we probably saw it 3, 4, maybe even 5 rounds from Spellin in the first half.
Well, 9-6, favourable to SKADE as we go to the pistol round. Double flash and defuse for Rainwaker, the first CT pistol round with the utility set up for today. Utility is out for Nicky here with the smoke and flashbang, using 1 flash already. Patch will get that opening kill on Oxygen as SKADE tried to get heavily aggressive into that mid area. They do drop that opening frag. And Fate continue to press up towards the apartments in second mid area.
And they're looking for a lot of information at the moment, SKADE, trying to see if they can find anything out from the mid phase. But the problem is, it's going to be the apartments playing Duplicate. He drops that bomb, so much information, 2 kills going his way. Can he follow up with any more? His teammates are going to be able to find the trade. And this is now 3 versus 2 in Spellin. Oh, he doesn't see Patrick. This is now a 2 versus 1. How is this all falling apart?
Well, two good picks that the CTs weren't ready for. Rainwaker, last man standing, it was a sight. Good headshot on Nicky. Tapping up towards Patrick, couldn't quite find the frag. Flashbang around the corner, might catch him. He picks up that bomb and rotates right around towards B, in towards mid. Rainwaker can still take a face and a headshot against him. We'll see some resistance as they may look to try and decide it here in the mid contact. And Rainwaker tapping through, knows where Patrick is. Scope in, sees the head again, but can't quite seem to line up that headshot. He is stalling for appropriate time, but on low HP, one of these faces could end up being his last. He's desperately looking for this kill against the T-side forces, but all the bullets miss. Eventually, the one that he needs to connect does connect, and SKADE get to 10.
Oh, I was getting a little bit worried there because I think he only had 6 bullets left when he got that final kill, but some really nice individual USP shots coming out, and it was a quick trade because Spellin just thought that there must have been no presence out from mid. It was a really cheeky position coming out from Patrick to try and cut off the rotator from B. But SKADE, Jay, we spoke about maybe a strong, at least, start going into the second half of Fate. That is not the start you're looking for.
Aggression into the apartments area on the force buy for Fate. No bomb plant bonus there for it's just pistols out. And to be honest, I'm kind of questioning why they didn't go ahead and take that bomb back over towards that B side, just get an immediate plant and an extra little bit of map control, obviously, dominance over the site, an extra bomb plant bonus as insurance. Either way, they will take their utility and they'll take their pistols and Kevlar out. They'll try and take that first kill against the likes of Oxygen. Rainwaker and Spillin also end up falling in Fate. Coming out with a 4 versus 2 in the post plant.
Oh no, they're saving. Wow, that's not even a force buy, Jay. That's wow. Okay. That is very scary that they don't even get a bomb plan, and it's a heavy upgrade for most of the players from Fate, but there's still some players that had not even forced the issue. And with SKADE, it's just the flashes, right? I mean, Fate, they go quickly out through short, the flashes come up, and they're just so blind on the site, and with the P250s, they get so up close and personal. And you got to be wondering for SKADE, how did that just go all so wrong? There should have been no chance they lost that round.
And the sheer all-out aggression from the pistols of the T side, somehow getting them quite far here for Fate. A force buy should come back in from SKADE as well. Would be surprised if it didn't. Yeah, there they come. Scouts out, SMGs, Deagles in on 2. An AK out for Han will be the front of the force buy back from the Fate camp. FMR's in for Patrick as well, saved. Most of these weapons were saved as well. A little bit of money to fall back on here for Fate. Spellin, 2 shots out towards that mid position, will catch off Han to kick things off.
A very nice start coming out from the SKADE side, and you can understand the force buy because they'll be on double eco status, and well, that's a good start at least, getting that opening man advantage. But the problem here, though, for SKADE is that the more passive they play on the sites, the easier it's going to be for a couple of these rifles, both the FAMAS and the AK, to try and see if they can siphon off some of these positions. Fate, it looks like they just want to commit to this A bomb site because they've currently got no banana presence at this point.
Smokes up, Deagles in. SMGs and rifles round the corner. Damage done to the AK-47. Blocking was attacked to 8 HP. They do find those 2 kills though. Spellin with the scouts still on site. Gets himself a 3K. Not quite a 4th, unfortunately. The bomb plant can be secured here. And we see Denny and Duplicate both coming in for the retake here. The plant goes down. Fate have Blocker and Mar here on the defensive to hold themselves off here. 30 seconds to that hit. There is no kit as well for SKADE.
Oh, Blocker's low. It really comes down to Mar to see if he can be able to hold this in the post plant. And Denny Slaw coming out from the apartments, and still so far, they're running out of time. And like you said, Jay, there is no kits. They need to get a move on. They need to get a move on right now. And they're taking this so slow. It's pretty much all but over at this point. And you've got to think from SKADE, why is this so slow?
Same issue for Fate on their CT side. Is it a Bulgarian thing or something? Like
those retakes are just too damn slow. That was a 2-on-2. It was a 2-on-2. Spellin did so much work on the site with the scout, getting 3 big kills in the end. They had 40 seconds on the bomb plant when they were in positions to try and retake the site, and they just take too damn long. And all Fate need to do is they just need to hide. They need to hide on the site and wait for the contact to be established. SKADE, yeah, that's a very poor retake.
And they're starting to lose some serious ground above this Fate camp for it. USPs across the entire CT board. Zeus in for Spellin. Keeping his eyes on the apartments area. The USP also out for this play. I mean, USP is out across the board. It was a given for this CT camp. Virtually no investment outside of that taser. And SKADE stacking all 5 players in towards that A bomb site. Eventually, 4 of them are going to rotate back out towards the B counter stack. And Fate, with so much aggression being pushed up towards this B site, may actually fall for it, but no, they're going to think better of this. Rotate back towards A. Try go for the execution. They have to set up a few too many smokes in order to try and counteract for any CTs that may still be lurking on site. But the truth is that they can walk into this bomb site, so no matter what they do, they should just get a free plant.
And I'll tell you what, they get that bomb down. I think Han and Blocker try and go hunting. They've got those Mac 10s. They can try and farm up some real cash. And with Denny going down, SKADE knows straight away, okay, it's not B, it's got to be an A plate. Best thing they can do is just try and not farm themselves in. See if they can take this AK down from Nikki. That's actually going to be a rifle that can be saved over. They get 2 kills. Okay, this is now getting interesting.
What? Han goes down next. Patrick and Ma. 2 versus 3. They do catch Duplicate at least on the sidelines, but now there's an AK to work for Oxygen. And Patrick in the open to try and get out of dodge. The USP moving up next up. Nade's onto position, but they're just going to opt to save that rifle. And for no investment, again, SKADE are going to do so much damage to Fate. 2 players getting away in this round. Oxygen steals an AK back from the seaside. Again, I don't know how Fate are able to lose that many rifle duels against basic pistols. Yeah, these were just USPs. A Zeus kill? Okay, fine, I can give you that. But the truth is that there were no Zeus kills coming in.
Yeah, and for SKADE, they've got to be obviously really happy with that. The fact that they take 3 players down, they're able to recover an AK, and well, it's successful. For Fate's side, I don't think that will kind of disrupt them at all. Like mentally, they can kind of say, okay, like we had a bit of a bad round, let's just move forward. We're allowing this comeback to come through. We're looking dominant on the gun rounds, and that's the key thing here. Is yes, Fate, they struggled against just the USPs, but they are looking strong when it comes to these rifles.
AWP's out. It was Spellin and Han, both teams having rifle investments here.
So slow.
See the go on.
I was just going to say, look how slow it is from Fate. Like, they have pretty much established no map control. There is no one around this banana territory. They haven't taken brackets. They don't have anyone in the apartments. SKADE have been able to really hold on to so much. Okay, has something gone wrong here?
I mean...
Because Han's not moving. No, Blocker's not moving either. So I'm guessing...
Oh, wait, we're back.
No, we're back. Okay. There's no issue. It's over to the B side, Jay.
I don't know what happened there. Server had a hiccup. But Patrick ain't hicking up at all. He's getting straight in with a kill on Denny Store. Duplicate gets his kill back in trade, and Nikki storms in with a secondary kill. So 4 versus 3. Plant to be secured. SKADE have their 2 players on A site. Rainwaker's the only player challenging towards B. He's got to save. This is a 10th for Fate. Instantly taking control of the B site.
Oh, and that banana control was so lovely. No, I mean, there was just a really great entries coming out to that B bomb site. And for SKADE, like you said, there was 2 players at A. Rainwaker was at least on a quick play to try and retake the site. But with no kits and no teammate support, he can't do anything but try not to go for the save. And for Fate, this is going to be them tying us up on Inferno. This is getting damn close between these 2 sides. And you got to think for SKADE, they're just falling apart. They're crumbling at the moment. And all of the momentum, all of the confidence is going the way of the Fate side. 4 players staying alive. Look at the money. It is so built for Fate at the moment.
Yeah, looking very similar to an economy that SKADE had in their early T-side half. When I talked about not having a whole lot of confidence, I guess I have every reason to have confidence now at this stage. A pause to be called. I imagine this to be tactical for that SKADE camp. Because right now, things are slipping away from them. They had such a confident start, such a confident build into this matchup, and now that's kind of just slipping away from them.
And that's the scary thing, is that it is slipping away from them, and well, they need a response. And I'd like to see some banana control coming out from the SKADE side. They've really played a very both these teams have played a very just common I suppose defaults on the T side for both halves. So all we're seeing is a lot of passiveness coming out for the T side, and as well for the City side. SKADE are not looking for a lot of these fights. We're not seeing any aggression coming out from the apartments. We're not really seeing any banana control being taken. Honestly, for SKADE, try and see if you can take the fight to them. You've got the AWP out for Spellin. See if you can take that banana control, get Spellin up to try and hold top banana by himself, rotate 4 players to that A-bomb side. They need to be taking some control, because Fate, they're winning out a lot of these gun rounds, and they're being very successful in doing so.
10 all evened out, AKs and M4s, the AWPs in, Rainwaker straight up aggression. SKADE are going to catch off 1 player, line up 2 more, doing a ton of damage in the early mid phase, and that is going to leave Patrick and Bar, I should say, in a very awkward spot as a result of this. 4-on-4 situation with the AWPs rotating back out position. Hunger try to look for a different way to work in towards that top mid area. And all in all, Fate off the back of that little bit of aggression, they're going to fall back to passive.
Unfortunately, they actually missed that moto smoke on the T side, which gives away a little bit of information of there being no long commitment for the T side. So a bit of information that's been given up by a bit of missed utility. But look, for the Fate side, they've taken a lot of damage, and it comes off the back of that aggression out through mid. They have been able to take top banana control and rotate Denny's Store to try and back up Duplicate. And that Molly doing a little bit more damage and trying to keep them at bay. Oh, the nade! The nade!
Couldn't have timed it better.
Oh, I like that.
The early damage coming in to do the damage to the Fate camp, to leave them in that susceptible position where that nade, if placed properly, would have taken them all down. 4-on-2, and Fate are falling out of banana. I think they're not even going to go ahead and push a site. They might just look to save their weapons here. Shooting onto the corpses. Nikki does find one of oxygen, but now got to isolate spell into the backline with the AWP on short. They haven't got time to wrap around towards long. Will Molotov out the position, and the AWP will drop that bomb. So left to Nikki, last man, 1 versus 3. Either got to go down or save it. And we'll face in the USP of spell, and we'll close it down. So 11 to the board of SKADE. Aye, boy. And it's with this damage here on this spray that actually lined up that nade's potential there. We can watch it again.
Oof. Here we go, here we go. Oh! Bang. Hello, 2 kills.
Goodbye, Fate. Lead regained, maintained by SKADE. But the rifles are back in play for Fate. They have got a little bit of an economy built, so they're going to reinvest.
It was really great to see that aggression. We needed to see a change-up coming out from SKADE, and well, we saw it in the last round. Doing a lot of damage in terms of utility is also a big bonus. The Fate, they are going to have a full buy coming out. AKs across the board, full utility, and they're going to try and go fast towards the brackets. But Rainwaker's got so much information, but he goes down so quickly.
Blocker taking him out and following up with a secondary kill. Patrick will fall. 1 player on site. That's Oxygen in the apartments. Han will take him out. And now Denny and Duplicate, the last 2 players left. The sheer speed and aggression from Fate to overwhelm SKADE, force the CTs to fall back and save. We'll see an 11-11 even standing once again from the T side.
Oh my goodness, Blocker, that is so insane. He is so quick out from brackets, and well, for the City side of SKADE, they don't expect that pace. It is so quick coming out from Blocker, and well, they just get fallen apart completely. Some really nice kills come through, and for SKADE, once Blocker finds those opening 2, it's chaos on the site. Han chimes into the action out from the apartments, and well, for SKADE, they have to go for the save. And you'd think after a fantastic response of being able to find your 11th, it just gets answered straight back.
Another pause to be called, and I mean, at this point, I'm even surprised that they're even going for any sort of tacticals from this point like that. SKADE have just been answered back every single time here in this CT half. And Fate right now, I mean, it's not like they're doing anything special as a team. Right now, Patrick is certainly the man that's doing most of the damage here. You can see his numbers, 1.46 on the KD. But some standout moments from certain players here and there have left them in this position where Fate could still bring things back here. The rebuy, the force buy will come through from SKADE. AWP, M4s, an AK saved, and a FAMAS out for Rainwaker. And this setup will be a little bit limited, but it is still going to be mostly rifles out across the entire CT board, so Fate will have a bit of damage to do and a bit of resistance to be thrown up.
SKADE, they've got to get a response now. And it comes off a back of, well, no utility damage. This is a pretty easy banana take coming out for the T side, but a wide swing coming out does at least land Spellin a leg tag onto Nikki. So a bit of early damage being done to the SKADE side, and they're rotating that fourth player back to A, but look at the commitment from Fate. You have to think this has got to be a B take.
Spellin putting smokes and incendiaries down, going to try and siphon off one of these players, and Locker's going to take quite a lot of damage for this. Still trying to take the aggressive face, but doesn't take Spellin down. 19 HP for the AWP. He's got to call for backup. And they put a Molotov down towards the back line of that site, and they'll be able to take him out. The nade as well from Mar, if he can isolate that dark position. That would be a hell of a way to open up the round for the T side. All in all, for the HP advantage, I believe that SKADE are the ones that come out on top. 2 players tagged up as opposed to 1. The 50 seconds to the hit, and the T's setting up utility now. The execution coming in. Denny on towards Coffins will fall back into the backline to join the likes of Spellin here playing contact. Rainwaker gets that kill towards mid. It is traded back though. It's a fake. Fate are going to go back towards the A bomb site and quickly counter-rotate back to Banana.
Oh, what's going on here? Fate, just make up your mind, because for SKADE, they're not over-rotating. They're still keeping 2 players at this B bomb site, and the AWP is still in play from Spellin, and he's got to be able to find this opening. He knows where Blocker is, but that's a great opening to come out. Denny tries to bring it back, but he needs to hold. He needs to allow his teammates to rotate in.
Nice wallbang attempt from Han, couldn't quite make it happen. Then he does get taken 50 HP, and Duke gets spotted at the end of the smoke. That's going to be a blind kill from Han officially. Sprayed through, damage done, Blocker takes him down. Oxygen, last man standing for SKADE, and it looks like Fate have finally done it to take the lead away from this team. They've contested so many times across both the first half and the second, but it looks like finally the struggling is over as they look to put 12 up against the lead of the SKADE camp.
I'll tell you what, Blocker, insane.
It's amazing how much I love betting on esports. It's so cool. What's even better is when I can use Cash Out. Wait, you didn't know about Cash Out? Cash Out is when you can get your stake back even when your bet is going against you. Just one hit and your money is safe. So go to LOOT.BET to cash out now.
There's no money, Jay. This is going to be Fate going up 13-11 unless SKADE can do the unthinkable. Unless they can somehow try and bring this back. But for Fate's sake, they are looking so incredibly strong in this second half. The T side, they've really come into their own. And Blocker, he stepped up massively these last few rounds.
Yeah, absolutely. Blocker. AK will be out. The Mac 10 for Nikki will be the worst weapon to work with, but with lack of head Kevlar, it'll still be workable here. Fate in a good position regardless here as Nikki opens things up with a simple headshot on Spell, and that's A site already open. They'll check out. Let's see a scout. Probably won't go for it. 13 to the board of the T side. This is the chance that Fate need to turn this map against their opposition. And again, the main thing is that this is a SKADE map pick. They need this one to go well because they've lost Overpass and Mirage in the last series they played it. They've lost, you know, they've never been able to win an Overpass. They were able to win a Mirage real close, but those 2 results were one-sided from Fate when they took them on against them here. So ideally, SKADE need this map victory, and they're cutting it real close. This could end up being a pretty harsh little time here for the CT camp. They do find the Mac 10, but the rifles pick them apart on the pistols. Rainwaker probably won't get away with the Mac 10. Low HP eventually does end up falling. And this will be a 13th to the board of the T side.
Oh man, and I only saw from Spellin, last night on Twitter, sort of saying, they've had a couple of good prac days, they're adding a little bit more structure, and they're improving day by day with this new lineup. But you got to think, if you're improving day by day, this has got to be the point to strike. This has got to be the point to sediment yourselves to say, okay, we could take our map pick, and it comes off the back of this second AWP to come out from Denny's Law. The first time in any round so far in this first map, we've seen a double AWP presence coming out. Denny used to be the main AWP. This could be the opportunity. This could be the turning point for SKADE.
I think it has to be the turning point for SKADE. If it's not, then Fate are going to have a pretty simple time, I feel like, of ending off this map up. Patrick swing in, gets Denny. No flash to support him. Does get counter-flashed by the CT forces, but he gets away with that kill anyway. And the M4 isolated to the back lines of the site. They've got players also on rotation. As Duplicate goes falling, it's Rainwaker next up. Does line up 2 good kills to a 3 versus 3. Gets himself a triple. USP against Patrick is so well easily won. Low HP across both players here, but Patrick comes out on top. Grabbing that bomb, retreating back a little bit. Mars going to consider rotation towards A, and that's a good call because the CTs have stacked B, and they believe this to be a B take.
Yeah, this is a very smart call coming out from Fate, realizing the fact that the rotations have probably already come in. As soon as Oxygen gets boosted up, though, they have to know it's A. They have to know it can't be B at this point. And, well, the bomb's going to get planted. It's going to be a slow rotation coming in. They do have 2 kits to work with on the SKADE side.
A scope in for Spellin. Eyes on. Checking out long, checking out sight. AK of Mar, keeping his eyes on from short. Oxygen, footstep heard, spray pre-fire on towards it, can't quite get the kill. Mark seeing a flashbang coming out, evades it, gets that kill easily. And the AWP is Spellin all that remains. Missing his shot, spray through for Mar will keep him away. They just have to play passive, he's going to take an aggressive swing. And he wins it out for his trouble, 14 to the board of Fate. And now, SKADE are in trouble. They are in real big trouble here.
They really are. And for Fate, I mean, it's incredible to think that only 17 days ago they've added Blocker, Patrick, and Hahn, and these have been 3 players that have had big performances so far in this first map. It's good to see Blockers actually return to the Bulgarian scene. I mean, for most of this year, at least the start of this year, he was on Windigo the back end of last year, and then almost nothing. So he's returned, and well, he certainly returned at a great performance. SKADE down 11 to 14, and they've only got a half bar to work with.
Now, Deagle's out, trying their best to get opening kills, but they're going to play for overtime here, SKADE. 4 rounds to the comeback. An AK in from R, gets one. Tries to look for a second, he gets it as well. Nicky makes it 3 kills all in all for the T side. A bit of pressure from Blocker as well. Nicky, Patrick, and Mar. I think quite a lot of damage. Blocker the same. Can be said as well, actually. I was going to say it can't, but the Eagle back from Duplicate finds an AK, but at this point, his best bet is to save. Challenging the T side here will be suicidal at this moment. Try to keep the AWP at bay, but they know where he is. The bomb plant can be secured. Fate can easily gain their 15th from here. There'll be no way that this player is going to get a retake.
We saw a 9-6 half coming out from SKADE. They won pistol. Outside of that, Jay, they've only been able to win 1 more round in the second half, which was a gun round. And, well, you got to think Duplicate's going to just try and hold on to this AK, but look at them hunting. They want to take him down. That's going to be a 15 for Fate on their opponent's map pick. This T side has been unbelievable.
It has been, like, this Fate camp have done fantastically. And again, I was sort of doubting it at the start of half. I looked at the stats and I was like, hey, it's not as great as their CT side. Oh, their CT side is not as fantastic, but the T side is not much better. And now, here they are, taking the lead away from SKADE now on map point. And SKADE, 1 final round to try and get this whole thing together. They've got the buy-ups, the double-up setup. The AK's in early on from the Ts. And Spellin with that opening kill on Nicky takes him down. A good start for the CT side, one that they need to find.
I couldn't even remember the last time we saw an opening kill actually going the way of the SKADE side. So, look, this is a great opportunity to work with, especially with Denny going to be able to double up. So, look, the double ups having a big impact so far in round number 27. But you'd almost got to think there's got to be an answer back coming out from Fate. And at this point, with 2 players staying alive, the best thing they could do, see how many players you can take down. See if you can do some damage to the economy for SKADE.
The AWP of Han going to try and do just that, scoping in, taking shots, but unable to get those kills. And for the backline scene, the AK spraying through, doing damage to Han, not quite getting the frag, but now they know where both players are at, so nades on. And CT's continuing to keep themselves under control here. It is 47 seconds to the clock. And looking like SKADE are going to stay alive with a 12th on their CT board. Fate, just a case of formalities at this stage. Go down, stay alive. Keep the AKs away from the CT side. That's probably the best thing, I think. Han will try to find some sort of entrance here towards B, but nothing will be seen here. And time is just ticking away at this point. Like, SKADE have basically confirmed their 12th here.
Han and Ma are still going to try and go for this towards a B bomb site, but, well, Duplicate, he's got all the information, knows exactly what's going on. Han does get a kill out towards CT, but he's going to be alone. Can he even get a bomb plan in this? Going to fake it out. Does he catch this Duplicate? He doesn't. The spam coming through, and, well, he's out of time. He gets the no-scope. Oh, he doesn't have time to get the bomb down. And Oxygen peeks out at the right time. That's actually not a bad attempt. They get 3 kills out of that.
That was a sick shot from Han. I wish we could have seen it again. And not quite good enough. $12 to the board of SKADE. Again, as you mentioned, a good effort to keep as many players down to limit the buy-ups. Double AWP setup has got to get saved. No AKs. Limited utility sets for SKADE. This could be enough if Fate are able to play this perfectly. Nades in, AWP's out, then he's going to gain the map control, but Fate are going to go quickly in towards this long position. Rainwaker's going to hold on towards one good kill against Blocker. No flash to support around this long position. No one's covering off this cubby. Molotov's going to try and force this player out. He'll burn. He'll burn quite significantly, but he'll put the smoke down and keep his position in the end. Duplicate finds a secondary kill on a peek out. The Nades finally deals with Rainwaker, but it's a 2-for-1 trade favour to the CT side.
No, SKADE, a great response. They get a 4-on-3 advantage. A lot of chaos coming out through brackets, and, well, Ma, just an overextension that's just not even needed at that point. Oxygen, they don't know where he is. Oh, a bit of a sloppy spray. Doesn't get traded out, but this is a really good round from SKADE. 4 players stay alive. Fate, they just took some jewels there, Jay, that I don't think were entirely necessary.
Yeah, again, just blind facing and dry peeking into the long position is what really cost them that round, I feel like. 13 to the board of SKADE, and Fate on another heavy investment round, but they need to get something together. I mean, go back to those defaults that were winning you out the picks, go back to the executions that were working well for you, and then Fate will be able to just win one good round. That's all they need. One good round. Doesn't even need to be a fantastic round, does not need to be a confident round. Just a round win. And they will close out this map against SKADE here. Round 29 coming up to play here. The double ops again back out for Spellin and Denny. AK in on Rainwaker. M4's out for Oxygen and Duplicate.
Yeah, SKADE starting to bring this back now. This is 2 rounds in a row from them. This is probably one of the first times, though, that they've been slightly undefended at the A bomb site. There's only 2 players here, and the early brackets control coming through from Fate. This looks like it's just going to be an A set piece.
Nades on, flashes over, T-side suppressed for the moment. Spellin gets that opening kill, drops that bomb. Patrick finds a trade frag though. Rainwaker making his way in, look towards the apartments, gets Patrick next. Duplicate on towards Long. Ma deals with him, looking for another good kill, but the AWP is able to respond. 2 players left, the bomb gets recovered by Nicky, and that's going to be a rotation back towards the B bomb site. Fast rush down, Denny is also trying to get there first. And the AWP second guesses himself. It won't provide enough time for Fate to gain easy access to the site. Or Battle gets won by Han as Denny misses a big flick. So a 2-on-2 now. Retake up for SKADE.
Oh, there's no smoke to go for the cross for the T side, and well, they're gonna now start to take control out towards the construction position. Rainwaker gonna turn it only down to 1, and it's all down to Han. The 1 versus 1 coming out with the AWP, and it's up against Oxygen, but he doesn't know where he is, whether he's coming from Banana or from CT. He's gonna reposition himself in through construction, and for Oxygen, he does have a kit, so he's got the time to work with, but the backstab players coming through, and Han, he's read it so well, or has he? He looks at the position, but at the wrong time, and now is getting quite low. The bomb going to get tapped. Oxygen. Oh, surely Han's going to be able to win this out. He falls back. Oh, SKADE, they're just getting played at this point, and Fate are going to be able to bring back the impossible. There's no time. A 16th round going the way of Fate, and they win their opponent's map pick, Jay.
An unbelievable statement there on that comeback. 16-13, as you mentioned. Fate, a beautiful way to end things off. As we go to a break, it is going to be the Fate map pick as well. SKADE are on the ropes. Can they recover an overpass? We'll find out after this break.
It's amazing how much I love betting on esports. It's so cool. What's even better is when I can use Cash Out. Wait, you didn't know about Cash Out? Cash Out is when you can get your stake back